good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show. I'm your host. My name is Precious Nzeya Sakaleji on not just another channel, Camnet TV. It's yet another beautiful morning today. It's quite chilly. Oh no, today is actually a beautiful day because I saw the sunshine on my way here. So it's going to be a very beautiful day. The past days, it's been quite chilly. You can agree with me. We're actually debating if you have always have early mornings during the week, the weekdays. I'm sure you were debating at some point, like, do I really need to go to work? But then those bills need to be paid. Welcome to Adulthood 101. But anyways, make sure that you're keeping warm, and also considering the fact that we are trying to survive amid the COVID-19 and cases are actually increasing each and every day because this is actually the flu season, the cold season. So you need to make sure that as you are going out there, make sure that you're warm. If you're indoors, that ginger, lemon, honey tea will actually work for you. So if you get an opportunity to do so, just have some tea, have something warm. Wear socks, wear that scarf, that head sock, that jumper, that coat, just to make sure that you are not a victim of the COVID-19. And also make sure that whenever you are going out there, wear your mask. If you have an opportunity to wash your hands with soap or use alcohol hand-based hand sanitizer. And also remember that COVID-19 is actually real. Now, on today's program, we'll be talking about something quite interesting. We've seen it happen in the previous time, in 2016 when we're having the elections, and also these other times when we've had elections, which is violence amongst political parties. Now, considering the fact that the ECZ had banned or has banned previous, past, present, but political rallies, is actually some shoulders rubbing amongst the political parties, both the ruling and the opposition. We just saw what happened just recently in Mandevo, and then there was actually a warning from the Commission to say if this continues amongst these two political parties, to specify the Patriotic Front, which is the ruling government, and also the opposition, the main opposition, which is the UPND, they are actually they might force the ECZ to suspend them indefinite. Okay, so they have been warned. So now the question that we are posing to you today is, what do you think should be done to end political violence? Now remember that you can actually call through on the program on 0968 675273. That's 0968 675273. And also you can come through to our Facebook platform. If you haven't yet liked the page, I don't know what you are waiting for. Now, every Saturday when we start the show, we always get into our fitness segment where we get to make sure that you actually stretch your muscles for just 5 minutes, which is not much, but I'm sure it makes a difference. Now, I always mention this whenever we talk about morning boost, that you don't have to wait for Saturday for you to work out. You can do that long walk, that long run, the jogging and stuff like that. Go online and just look for a 10 minutes workout, 5 minutes workout that you can do every day. If you are not a morning person, you can do your exercises after work. When you're done, take a bath, have your meal, and go to bed. And also always remember that breakfast is the most important meal of the day that will actually give you the energy and boost you as you start your day. So it starts with that, the breakfast, and also the workout. Now let me not talk much because we have a long way to go. For now, let's get into our morning boost, and then we continue with the conversation on the other side. Good morning.
It's a beautiful morning and I welcome you to Morning Boost. I'm so glad that you've tuned in and hope you had a great night. So let's do some workouts this morning and we're going to have a great time. So we're going to start with a warm-up and then make some aerobics movements for today. Okay, ready? Let's go. A beautiful morning to everybody and welcome to Morning Boost. Let's go. Go. the V step now. Let's go. Last V step. Back to step touch. V step. Let's go. Let's go. And marching. And 4, 3, 2, step touch, go. Bring in your hands now. Let's go. Let's go. Just a quick workout in the morning. Not a full-fledged workout, no. Keep going. And 4, 3, 2, hamstring, go. Four, 3, 2, step touch. Four, 3, 2, and hamstring. And 4, 3, 2, step touch. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Keep going. Stay at it. Go. Easy basic workouts for the morning. And marching. Skip, jump now. Go. Let's go. Skip. Try this. Even if you feel heavy in your body, you can do this. Let's go. There's always a first time. You may struggle, but it's doable. Let's go. And 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Change now. Let's go. Very easy for a morning workout. Lift your knee very high. Go. Let's go. Stay at it. Stay at it. We're going to bring in a kick now from a knee high to a kick. Go. Go. Let's go. Let there be a blood circulation on your legs so that you don't have that numbness you feel at times. Kick. 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 Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Straight kicks now. Go. Straight kicks. Go in the sides. Okay. Keep going. Almost done with our 5 minutes workout. Knee high. Try this every morning. It's going to do wonders to your body. Let's go. We're almost there. All right, team. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. This is Isaac Mata, your presenter. I'm going to see you next time at the same time. And have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.
Well, welcome back. Hope you were actually exercising along as that clip was playing. I wish I could say I was, but yeah, if you did, well, good for you. If you haven't, well, you can find time during the week. Don't be like Lucille that doesn't actually work out. She says being a mother is a workout on its own. But anyway, she's on oil. Wishing you a quick recovery. Hope to see you soon. Okay, now quickly getting into what we are talking about. We are talking about what do you think should be done to end political violence, considering the fact that it's during the campaign period and we've had one or two stories concerning political parties, either in-house fights or maybe different political parties fighting, and also considering the fact that now that the political rallies are banned, we have seen our presidential candidates actually campaigning, or door-to-door campaigns. But here's one thing that I actually noticed. During the campaigns, they actually get a whole lot of attention. Now imagine you stay in this area and you have never actually seen our PF presidential candidate, which is Edgar Chagwa Lungu, or you have never seen Nahaka Ndiyijilama, or you have never seen Dr. Nevis Mumba, you have never seen these other political party candidates, and then they come in your area, okay? Just that excitement of just wanting to have a glimpse of them doing their thing and stuff like that, they get to attract a lot of people. Now I'm trying to figure out, because I will not leave my house and look for a mask, which is not supposed to be the case, because I have heard there's this presidential candidate that is in your community. Like, you don't have time to look for that mask because you are scared. You might actually miss an opportunity to meet them. So now I'm looking at all these people that are gathering when the candidates are actually doing their door-to-door campaigns. It actually just attracts as much people as it would attract people when it comes to political rallies. So I don't really understand why they banned political rallies when they're allowing candidates to actually campaign door to door, and it's actually the same thing that happens that we are trying to avoid during political rallies. Hope that will be put into consideration. We might as well just bring back the political rallies. But anyways, they're trying to adhere to the COVID-19 health guidelines, but I think it's actually not helping. And also it's, like I said, I think some time back on this same show, considering political parties campaigning in the same area, I was hoping that we actually don't get to a point where we see bloodshed, bangas, maplangas, and stuff like that during this campaign period, because the political atmosphere is quite intense. And also, you as a voter need to be paying attention during this period, okay? Like me and Liseli would always mention, it's not about that chitenge, it's not about that bicycle, it's not about that t-shirt, it's not about that bunch of 100 kwaches, it's not about that bag of millimil, it's not about that pair of shoes. It's about what that person is bringing to your community, what that person is going to do to make sure that they change your livelihood, what that person is going to do different from all these political parties that have had the opportunity to have a feel of that seat. Okay, we're talking of you understanding what their manifesto says, because once you go and vote, okay, once you go and vote, there's no going back. You won't go and rub that vote. You're giving that vote to that particular person, and that vote will actually be the one that will determine who will rule the country. Now, we also always mention this, that it's up to you if you are going to decide to maintain the current government or you are going to change the government. But what you need to consider is that when you're going to vote, take it upon yourself as a Zambian citizen to do your research. Don't vote for a person, don't vote for a political party because they're famous, or maybe you have a feeling. Okay, feelings die, oh. And once you vote, remember that this is what you are deciding to be with for the next 5 years. It's like a marriage, but the marriage is like a lifetime, but we're talking politics. So this is what you're going to be dealing with for the next 5 years. Okay, we're talking of councillors, we're talking of members of parliament, we're talking of a mayor, we're talking of a presidential candidate, and all these other seats. While they are doing their campaigns, okay, pay attention to what they're telling you. And you know how these people behave. It's not like it's the first time that Zambia is holding elections. You know how they behave usually, okay? Let me talk on member of parliament level, okay? When they come to a constituency, what they do is they'll come with all these promises. nalamibikila amabohozi chidanganda palaba amabohozi then nkalamipela free transport akachelo abali abaya kumaoda banamayo abaya kumaoda nkalamipela free transport kalaisa amabuses ayali 10. Okay, kalaisa amabuses ayali 10 akachelo from 04 to 07 hours bakala nina free. Okay, that's a promise. You will be enticed. It's how politicians behave. They will, you know, like, let me give an example, practical example. Before a relationship, okay, women can relate. Before a relationship, when this guy comes through, he's gonna tell you about all these things, even the lies. I drive, in the morning when I wake up, I usually go take a bath in China and come back, and then after that I go and have my breakfast in Paris. When I'm done, I actually go have my lunch in South Africa. Or maybe sometimes I just get to decide during the week that I want to sleep in Kenya, or maybe Tanzania, or maybe Nairobi on the other side and stuff like that, Namibia. So you need, while they're telling you those things, be realistic. You need to wake up, okay? While they're coming through with all those promises that they would do for the country, promises that they would do for that constituency, you need to keep your ears on the ground, okay? So, because they'll come with all these things, they'll see the situation, and then they'll act upon it at just that particular time, so that you go like, oh my God, this is the person. Even ladies will be like, this is the man that's gonna marry me. 3 or 4 months into the relationship, they become reluctant because they've gotten what they wanted. Okay, now we're talking about 5 years. Once that member of parliament comes to your constituency and they're campaigning, you need to pay attention. Okay, you might decide to keep the current person because of the good works that they have done. But then, if the 5 years that member of parliament was in your constituency and there was no change, and they come back to say, no, last term we didn't have an opportunity to do all these things, but we promise that once you vote us back into power as your member of parliament or as your councillor or your mayor, we'll make sure that we work on the things that we didn't work on. You had a whole 5 years to do that, and they didn't. So you need to pay attention. Just as a friendly advice, I will take it upon myself as well. We mentioned with Lisa that we will be coming through and just educate you on the things that you need to consider as a citizen before deciding who you are going to vote for. And this habit of saying, just because my mom is supporting a certain political party, or my dad or my sister, maybe I should do the same. They have their reasons. They have their personal reasons. You also need to have a reason to vote for that particular person during this general election. Okay? Not less than 61 days to go, if I'm not mistaken, 6 or 61 days to go before we actually go and cast our votes. So if you don't have your voter's card, unfortunately you will not be participating. If you have a voter's card, I have a habit of checking it every after 2 days, just in case, because I am quite excited to actually go and cast my vote. This is going to be my second election, second time actually playing that role as a citizen to go and vote. So I hope that you're as excited as I am to go and make that decision. Now, getting into the things that has been happening the course of the week, we heard of the famous story carried out by different media houses, and also Camnet TV being among those media houses, where there was this go slow by doctors because they had certain demands that wanted to be met, and unfortunately after I think 7 days they actually went back to their respective positions or jobs because of the rising numbers of the COVID-19. They care about you guys despite the issues that they're facing. And one of the Resident Doctors Association President, Dr. Brian Sampa, was actually the first thing that happened is that his practicing license was taken away from him, and then afterwards he was actually suspended from the civil service for absconding from work for 10 days. Okay, now different people have come to talk about that situation, considering that he was just a mouthpiece for these young doctors, that he was actually the voice for the voiceless, and a lot of people condemned the step by government to actually suspend him and got rid of him from the civil service. But now, for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, here's a little something to just freshen up your mind.
As economic freedom fighters, we regret the unlawful dismissal of Dr. Branch Otasampa, and as a result, we have written to the Secretary of Cabinet informing him of our intentions to commence legal proceedings. We feel protocol was not followed, procedure was broken, and as such, that dismissal is just tantamount to intimidation. The doctor, as well as other civil servants, have got the rights as are enshrined in the Constitution, Article 42. What we see is a breach of the Constitution, and as such, we will take legal action if that decision is not reversed with immediate effect.
To say that those doctors have been having those problems for many years. You see, they've got family to look. Right up now, this country has collapsed. The economy has collapsed. They've got families. They have funerals. They have to attend to other social issues. So, they've been engaging government, but government has misleading them. What did you do? And if you remember, even when they were protesting, they were still at their working places. Others were attending to patients. And the same government is only just talking about the COVID escalating. So, they are just human beings. They've got a right to protest. But I can assure you that not all the doctors left that place. It's the government which has been a problem. So, they are professionals, yes, they need to respect the lives of people, but at the end of the day, they need to earn a living. It's simple as all that. It's simple as all that. So, we need to be very sensitive to these issues. But the PF government is saying that they've developed this country by those kind of policies. No. Let's not just talk about infrastructure. How about the human component? It's very important.
Welcome back. So for those of you that don't know what was happening, that is the current situation. People are actually requesting, different stakeholders are requesting that Dr. Branch Sampa should be reinstated and stuff like that. Now, while we're still talking about political parties and different political parties and the campaigns and the rallies and stuff like that, now we know that we have had different situations from Dani Pule to Bambi Kapalasa actually questioning President Edgar Lungu's eligibility, that is the Patriotic Front presidential candidate, and they actually Chapter 1 Foundation petitioned also different running mates from 16 political parties, considering the fact that he felt they didn't adhere to what the procedure was for a running mate, and they were explained to why the reason certain things were not done, because it's like, if the presidential candidate files in his nomination, there are some checks and balances that need to be worked on, and that has been done. But then they felt like the running mates were not adhering to that, so they took it to court. So Edgar Lungu's eligibility as well was taken to court. We're waiting for the final judgment, but yeah, Thursday, around 16 hours, there was something that was said, and it is, I would say, lack of better terms, said or judged that Edgar Lungu is actually eligible to run this year's presidential election. We ran this story yesterday. Let's take a look at this and then we'll get to it on the other side.
The debate surrounding the eligibility of President Edgar Lungu has finally come to its conclusion, with the court this afternoon ruling in his favor, giving him a go-ahead to contest in this year's general elections. Despite the Constitutional Court this afternoon delivering a majority judgment, which was read by Justice Judge Annie Sitali, that President Lungu's nomination papers are valid, hence he is eligible to contest in this year's general elections, one judge, Professor Margaret Manalula, holds a dissenting judgment. Dissenting judgment simply means that she does not agree with the final judgment, but the majority wins. In this case, President Lungu's nomination was being challenged by Chapter 1 Foundation, Legal Resources Limited, and Dr. Shishua on ground that he held office twice. The three petitioners had argued that President Lungu contravened Article 1063 of the Constitution the moment he had filed in his nomination papers with the returning officer, supported by an affidavit stating that he is qualified to contest as a presidential candidate in the general elections. They had further argued that if the court allows him to contest in these elections, he will be standing for a third time. But the court, in its judgment, stated that it had already ruled on what constituted term in the Danipule and Kapalasa case, hence the petition before court lacks merit and accordingly dismissed. The court says when President Lungu was first elected in 2015, after the death of Michael Sata, he did not serve a term of office as it was less than 3 years. In speaking to the media shortly after the court judgment, Chapter 1 Executive Director Linda Kasonde says they will respect the court ruling, but it is now up to the citizens.
Before the Constitutional Court, in line with our constitutional right under Article 2 of the Constitution to uphold and defend the Constitution as by law established. And in fact, that is also my duty as a legal practitioner. And we did just that. We did attempts to defend the Constitution. Unfortunately, the court has ruled against us. It's not that we've changed our views, but we must respect the will of the court. And now it's up to now the president is on the ballot paper, and the election will go ahead, and it's up to the voters who they want to vote for.
Meanwhile, the court has also dismissed the petition where Dr. Shishua and Lusaka lawyer Alfred Nkanda were seeking the nullification of all presidential running mates on ground that they did not comply with the law. And this was the Attorney General's comment over the judgment.
The court has basically agreed with a notice of motion to dismiss for incompetence on the ground that running mates are not candidates for purposes of Article 52. So that's basically the order of the court. So the running mates are not supposed to file in nomination, and the court agreed with that position. And of course, I've also urged the states to ensure that those provisions which are not in line with the Constitution should be brought in line with the Constitution. That is the provisions of the Electoral Process Act.
Conversation. I'll be back. 2021 has been described as a highly politically charged year. This is because every 5 years the country goes to the polls, and that 5 years elapses. With only a few months remaining down to the ballot, the battlefield to appear on the ballot is becoming fertile. A lot of people are expressing interest of appearing on the ballot.
In all this, our interest is to put the duty bearers, the leaders, and those aspiring to task by asking the relevant questions.
If you're an aspiring candidate, be it councillor, mayor, or member of parliament, get in touch with us to get yourself on the verdict.
We go beyond speculation in dealing with policy and governance issues. The right questions are asked to help you make a verdict.
For more details, you can call us on 0962 965883, 0979 753010, or email us info@camnettvafrica.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Join us on Camnet TV
every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 17:45 hours
on a new program dubbed The Verdict.
Remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel.
And bananas. Work and wait, and this what you've been praying for.
Camnet TV is here to entertain, educate, and inform you. Catch Rise and Thrive at 07:30 hours every Saturday. Fresh and new praise and worship comes Monday to Friday at 8 hours. Kids need to be glued to the TV every weekday at 09 hours for their favorite cartoons. Off the pitch with the boys as they talk about sport on Saturdays at 09:30 hours.
Remember, we are also here to entertain you with our different varieties of movies every weekday at 10 hours. Join Pastor Victoria and Moses Chuluwa with Healing Word Ministries International Church live sermon every Sunday at 10 hours.
Katamanda brings to you another journey of gospel ministers on Saturdays at 10:30 hours. The verdict comes to your screens at 17:45 hours. Join the Revival Harvest Church every Sunday at 18:30 hours.
Every Monday to Saturday, join us on the news desk at 12 hours as we bring to you the midday news, and at 19:30 hours Central African time every day for the main bulletin.
The ministry with Pastor Moses Chuluwa comes every Friday at 20:45 hours. On Mondays, it's your favorite national matters at 20:45 hours.
Wednesday and Thursday, Pastor Victoria and Moses Chuluwa are on Partnership of Greatness with different spiritual teachings at 20:45 hours.
And Frank on Camnet comes to your screen every Tuesday at 20:45 hours.
Camnet TV, not just another channel. Well, welcome back. Now, we are talking about ending political violence. Now, the question that we're asking is, what do you think should be done to end the political violence? Remember that you can come through on the phone line 0968 675273, 0968 675273, or get to our Facebook platform. You'll find the question posted there. You can just like and comment, also share with your friends. Now, getting into our Facebook comments. Now, this one is coming all the way from Edward K. Kasani, and he says, omitting the political cadres. Okay, and then this one is coming from Victor M. Mugala, and he says, I think these roadshows should also be halted forthwith, cause according to my observation, the parties are not following laid down COVID preventive measures. They do not put on masks, no social distancing, and the crowds are too much. Besides, they block roads where other well-meaning citizens are supposed to use to conduct their movements. So that's coming from Victor. And then Jones Mambesia Samba says, it just takes the president putting his foot down and call for disciplinary action within the outside of his party. And this one is coming from Guja Arrangement, and he says the police should handle all political cadres equally. And then Evans Mulaya comes through and says the question should be, why is the president not ending the violence? So now remember, you can also come through on our Facebook platform and comment, and we will read your comments right here, or you can actually take this opportunity and actually talk to me. Just call on the number 0968 675273, 0968 675272, and then we will be getting into the conversations. Now, at the beginning of the show, I mentioned that breakfast is actually a very important meal of the day. I had a cup of tea on my way here, which is not really bad because I have some sugar in there. But if you have an opportunity to actually have your breakfast, depending what time you prefer to have your breakfast, others love to have it in the morning. Others are not really good when it comes to having their breakfast in the morning. They prefer having it after 9 or after 10, just before the afternoons. So now we're getting into our food corner. Let's see what we can have for breakfast today. I had a crazy countdown. But anyway, that's what you can have for breakfast. Very simple and straightforward. Nothing complicated. No ingredient that you can't actually find in the market. So if you get an opportunity to actually make breakfast for the family, that's actually an easy way to actually do that. You can have it with honey, or what's the other thing you can have? Or just plain. Okay, it's up to you to decide. Now, getting back to current affairs and what has been happening in the course of the week, we saw the fights between UNZA workers and management when it comes to salary increments and also allowances. So they feel that the management is actually, the management doesn't care about its employees, considering the fact that you know how when it comes to money, how people actually behave. But let's get the details in this clip.
The University of Zambia Professional Staff Union, UNZA PROSU, has expressed its displeasure over the failure by UNZA management to increase its salaries and allowances. At a meeting held on 4th June 2021 between UNZA management and the union, UNZA said the decision not to increase their salaries came from the government, a decision UNZA PROSU has refuted. UNZA PROSU Vice President Likezo Pumulo told journalists at a media briefing that the high cost of living coupled with high inflation has made it difficult for them to survive, hence the need they lobbied UNZA management to consider increasing their salaries.
The last meeting we had with management was on 4th June this year, where we were informed by management that they have been directed, or they have received a directive from the ministry not to offer any salary increment or any upward adjustment to any allowance to the University of Zambia professional staff.
And Mr. Pumulo says the refusal by management to increase its staff salaries has brought tension among its union members, who he says will soon act.
As I alluded to, we are from addressing the members, telling them the bad news, and the situation on the ground is very tense. And we, as executive, we may not be in a position to assure or make any commitment that there will be continued harmony in the university. As the public could be aware, as if it's a matter of adding salt to a troubled wound, the University of Zambia staff have not been paid their gratuities since 2011.
The union vice president has since accused UNZA management of being incapable of running the institution and wants the government to intervene in the matter.
It will be very unfortunate for government to technically declare a wage freeze on the University of Zambia staff. So our appeal to government is they should intervene and try to resolve this issue amicably. We are also appealing to government, I think, to prevail over the way management is running the institution. As we speak, management is losing a lot of money through unnecessary legal suits. We have a situation where management is breaking the law with impunity.
And UNZA PROSU General Secretary Mayumba Nalucha says he is disappointed at UNZA management, who he says are acting selfishly.
Very funny in the sense that management are the ones that have indicated to us that they have declared a dispute because we demanded a salary increment from them which they cannot meet. We find this kind of behavior from management to be uncalled for. It's like your child is asking something from you. Instead of giving the child, then you say, I'm reporting you to police.
Efforts to get a comment from the University of Zambia management could not materialize as the registrar was not available to offer a comment by broadcast time. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
What do you think should be done to end political violence? What do you think should be done to end political violence? 0968-675-273, 0968-657203 is the number that you are calling us on, and we would like to hear from you. 0968-675-273. And also you can get this opportunity and get to our Facebook platform. If you haven't liked Camnet TV on Facebook, then I don't know what you're waiting for. Also remember that you can follow us on Instagram as well. That's Camnet TV Africa. We would like to interact with you. Now, talking about social media, there's a comment coming all the way from John V. Tope, and he says, education, yes, we need a lot of civic education for our people to end political violence. Now, getting into growing up, okay, I don't know if you have a garden behind your house. If you do, that's actually a great thing. For those of you that actually sell the vegetables that they grow behind their houses, that's actually a good thing. Now, why I'm talking about this is because it starts from a very tender age, and if you get an opportunity, if you got an opportunity, or if you have an opportunity to actually learn that from school, I have actually seen different schools teaching these pupils how to grow certain vegetables, grow certain fruits, so that as they are waiting for their results when they write their grade 12 exams, they have that skill to actually make use of, which is buy a few seeds, look for a certain piece of space or land behind the yard, or maybe somewhere in the yard and stuff like that, and grow some tomatoes, grow some vegetables. Rep is the common one, and also spinach, lettuce and stuff like that. I'm talking about this because pupils from St. Margaret School actually appreciate the fact that they have this production unit to help them learn the skills on how to grow certain vegetables and fruits that will help them change their livelihoods after they leave school.
Agriculture and agribusiness play an important role in the Zambian economy, contributing around 20% of gross domestic product (GDP) in recent years, and about 12% of the national export earnings. And the concept of production units is certainly helping young people appreciate the value of agriculture in safeguarding their lives. The Ministry of General Education has been championing this agenda, and schools are now appreciating its value. In my recent visit to Eastern Province in Chipangari District at St. Margaret's Secondary School, I caught up with young people who shared their experiences.
By providing vegetables for everyone in school, and that's where we gain our nutrients from. We gain nutrients from vegetables. And as me, as an individual, when I complete school, as I'll be waiting for my results, I can start up a small garden and sell some vegetables to gain some income. And I also see it healthy that we get vegetables from our own garden, because we know, we can see how they clean the vegetables, knowing that we eat healthy meals here. And it's also a source of income for the school, and also for us as we learn, like here as we're working, we know how to make our own gardens. And not only as we'll be waiting for results, we can make gardens, but also it can also be a career and a source of income, like capital. When you go into society, we might start a garden for us to earn a living or some source of money for us to go to the universities when we finish school.
Others say production units are important because they can help them earn a living.
As a school, the production unit has helped us in such a way whereby it provides supplies for the kitchen. In some cases, maybe we have shortages of vegetables. Then we just get our vegetables from the garden. Then as for me as an individual, when I go into society, it's going to help me, because before I'll be waiting for me to be accepted in the university, I can help myself by setting up a small garden. Then I'll be supplying people with maybe vegetables, to many
with a lot of things. Like as they said, when we complete school, as well as we'll be waiting for our results, they can help us to start like farming, open a garden and start selling some other things. Yes, and as a school, it has helped us with a lot of things, like providing vegetables for us for our meals. Yes, that's how it has helped us in the school.
When they come, we find that a pupil doesn't even know how to handle a hoe. And me, I said, my friend, whether you know, you don't know, can you make a bed here? And by the time they leave, they really appreciate it. Sister, I didn't know. This is how we are supposed to, should be helping your parents at home. So
It must be noted that agriculture has been perceived as the sector for old people, but now this narrative is fading as more young people are getting involved. Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
Well, there you have it. It's so sad that I actually have to pack my bags and go. But remember that as we head towards the general elections, you need to make sure that you take care of yourself and the family, and also considering the fact that this is the first time Zambia is voting amid the COVID-19, let's not be careless when it comes to preventing ourselves from the COVID-19, and also adhering to the health guidelines. Simple instructions, nothing complicated, simple and straightforward. Always have your mask on if you're going to go out in the public. Avoid crowded places. Keep at least 1 meter when having a conversation. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. Use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. And also, if you're having any symptoms of the COVID-19, visit the nearest health center. If you have a flu, if you're going to sneeze, use your elbow to sneeze. And also, make sure that if you have anyone who's showing signs or symptomatic COVID-19, call a health practitioner and they will be right there to help you. Okay, we care about you. I personally care about you, and I want to see you through this campaign period as we head towards 12th August 2021 as we make that decision. Well, my name is Precious Muzea Sakaleji on behalf of Isaac and Elijah Chifeta on the other side and Camnet TV crew. It's have a beautiful day and thank you for joining me.